I am everything. I am life. I am creation. I am everything. I am the sword of truth. Don't you forget it. I work hard. 3 in the morning. Up grinding. We don't sleep. The sleep is for the weak. I'm not weak. I'm stronger than ever. I'm hungrier than ever. Steve Claggett, I'm gonna fuck you up. To everybody, I'm gonna mess you up. With my faith, with my strength, with all my hope, and with all my love, I will create everything from above. For man is I, and for I shall feast. I ain't scared, never was, never will be. Let me ride, let me hold, let me conquer, let me quest. Become everything, forget everybody. I am everything, I am everybody. That's the mentality. Hold on to it. Who the fuck you think you are? You ain't me, and I ain't you. And that's why me becomes greater every night. You drink your worries away. You worry too much. Me, I am too much. Ha!
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario. Coach Mario, owner and head coach of Warriors Prize Boxing Academy here in Miami, Florida. Happy Monday, guys. Happy Monday. How's everybody doing? How was that weekend? I hope everybody did a great weekend, had a great weekend, relaxed, went to church, did all the things you had to do. I'm telling you, I had type of thought after watching the Claggett fight, the Teofimo Lopez and Claggett fight, and I wanted to share that with you this morning. Do you guys remember? I know I'm dating myself, and some of you guys will not remember this, but do you remember that series on TV, the $6 Million Man? I don't know if you remember that. Then they called it, I think, the Bionic Man or something like that. This guy had an accident, and I think his legs were made of some kind of, metal and stuff, and his eye, he could see really far away. He could run 60 miles an hour or something like that. Well, I'm going to give La Llorona, which is the name I had given Teofimo Lopez before. I'm going to give him another name. I'm going to give him the 6 million excuses Bionic Man. I might not put the Bionic in there. The 6 million excuses man. And I know some of you guys might not like, it's just joking aside, just a little bit of humor for you guys. But I'm going to be honest with you. He's bringing all that criticism to himself, and one of the things that I criticized about Subriel Matias was, he started getting a little cocky, he started getting a little arrogant at the end, right there before the fight, and his walk and all this other stuff. There's few things there that I did not like about Subriel Matias. I'd rather see him like the humble guy he was. And that's another thing I started criticizing also about Pitbull Cruz. On his upcoming fight with Rayo Valenzuela, he didn't want to shake his hand, and this attitude of some fighters once they think, and let me choose another one. Let me give you another example before I end that train of thought. Edgar Berlanga, who thinks he's a superstar, wearing all this gold and all this other stuff. He hasn't achieved anything. He hasn't beaten any top level opposition. He already thinks he's at a level where he can fight Canelo and some of these other guys. It's all a setup by some of these promoters just to make money and take this kid to a point where, his Puerto Rican fan base can, stand behind somebody like Edgar Berlanga, who is a very mediocre fighter. That guy does not belong in the top 30, in my opinion. Top 30 of that weight division. But anyway, back to my train of thought. All right, so when you have somebody that forgets his humble beginnings, forgets who he is, all the things he's gone through, and he lets all these things go to him. Then he starts lying to himself and deceiving himself, thinking he's something or someone that he is really not. He creates this false persona, all right? Where this persona that he's created around his mind is somebody that is greater than what he is. And that is unfortunately what's happened with a lot of fighters, all right? It's happened with a lot of fighters. And the fall from grace, like I mentioned on my last episode, is harder for those people that act that way. Adrian Broner, Amir Khan, some of these guys that, Mayorga, some of these guys that were like really outspoken or flamboyant or talked a lot of crap and all this other stuff, and got to that point of arrogance. Once they meet an opponent that actually either takes them the distance or makes them look bad, and this is something that continues to happen, just like with Adrian Broner's case, it humbles you. It humbles some people, but it seems like Teofimo Lopez hasn't learned his lesson. That's 3 fights in a row, guys. 3 fights in a row. 2 of them he lost. I don't think he lost against Claggett. Definitely he didn't lose against Claggett, but he didn't look impressive at all. Claggett beat his face up. Look at Claggett's face after the fight, and look at Teofimo's face after the fight. And the thing that pisses me off about Teofimo, and I really don't like this guy, to be honest with you. I don't like his personality. I don't like the way he is. I don't like his dad. He's a lowlife. His father. And I feel bad sometimes for the guy, because at the beginning I did like Teofimo. When he mentioned he wanted to fight everybody and he wanted to, be old school and all this other stuff, but his actions or his words don't match his actions. All right? He's telling you he wants all the smoke. Just like Devin Haney said one time, want all the smoke, but he didn't want all the smoke. That's why he chose Ryan Garcia, thinking he was a low-hanging fruit, and look what happened to him. That's somebody else that had a big head, his fantasy and his father's fantasy of, picking and choosing opponents during his whole career. Got lucky also fighting somebody like Cambosos, who I knew was going to be a one-hit wonder. Somebody like Liam Paro, who I know is going to be a one-hit wonder. And I give Liam Paro credit, like I said before, but he's not at the level that Suriel Matias' skill set is at. I do not think so, sir. I do not think so, guys. I really don't think that. And I apologize to those diehard fans of the Australian fighter, but look what happened to Tim Tszyu. Look what happened to George Cambosos. And now you have Liam Paro, and I don't think he's going to last either. But anyway, when you get to that point where your last 3 fights, going back to Teofimo, when your last 3 fights have not been impressive, all right, you got the 3 wins on your record, but everybody's seeing what's going on with you. And now you're talking about fighting, going up to 147 and fighting, Terrence Crawford, who's not going to fight you at 147. He's moving up to 154. This guy has not been able to knock out anybody, Teofimo Lopez, at 140 pounds. Ever since he moved to 140, 0 knockouts. I think he has 1, if I'm not mistaken. Can't remember who that was. But he hit Claggett with everything he had, and Claggett didn't move, kept on moving forward. That would have been the same scenario with Suriel Matias. Same case, because this guy, like, what's his name? Tough. Shout out to Tough Glove Boxing for mentioning that. That is something that I had noticed is, they do have a similar, Claggett and Matias have a similar type of style. However, Matias has more punching power than Claggett. So imagine if Teofimo would have faced Suriel Matias, who now he he says, yeah, it was easy on that interview. Pre-fight, Teofimo Lopez was interviewed, and he said, oh, yeah. Just what I thought. Matias, it was easy, an easy fighter. And that's a thing that is ridiculous, his statement, because if he's so easy, why didn't he fight him? He had a title, right? If it's so easy, why doesn't he fight him now? All right, and it's all, you can see through people that talk crap, and I've always been a great judge of character. Let me tell you a little bit. I used to be a manager for a company here in Miami. It was a cloud services company. I worked as a sales manager. And when I used to interview people, I could see who was bullshitting me and who was not. And Teofimo is a great bullshitter. But he thinks, which is his perception and his fantasy in his mind, he thinks nobody notices. But everybody around him, while they're asking him questions, and he's answering, oh yeah, Claggett is like a triathlete. Claggett is this, Claggett is that. Oh yeah, I chose him because, come on, you chose him because you thought it was gonna be easy, bro. You chose him because you want to be having spectacular win, which you didn't have. All right, so you're only fooling yourself, Teofimo. You're a man of the 6 million excuses. 6 million excuses, man. La Llorona. That is you. You and your boyfriend, Punch Drunk Boxing, who live in La La Land. You know, and I can understand when somebody is wrong and comes out and admits it, and at least, you know, tries to be humble about the whole situation, you know, after the fact of his last 3 performances, he should come out and say, you know what, I gotta get better at this. I gotta, you know, his was tougher than he thought. He actually, Teofimo Lopez chose the weakest link. Of all the other possibilities, he's the one that chose it. But this was not a mandatory fight. He was given several alternatives. He chose the, you know, easy pickings. He wanted to look spectacular after two fights that he just came out of, which he looked like he lost. In everyone's opinion, he looked really bad. So, again, I'm telling you, you know, I think that Teofimo has been exposed as far as a liar, as somebody who needs, you know, some kind of psychological help. This kid, you know, lives in fantasy land. And you can tell by his arrogance and the way he expresses himself and everything else that his days are numbered. This guy's days are numbered. And his fall from grace is going to be really hard. If he goes up to 147 and fights any of these guys, bye-bye. If he has no power knocking somebody at 140, imagine at 147. All right? He's and one thing that really pisses me off is this idiot former, you know, one-hit wonder also, Chris Algieri, who actually in his mind believes he was a great fighter also. You know, who was a terrible fighter, who got lucky to get a title. And, you know, and he did, you know, fight, you know, the Siberian Rocky and gave a good fight, but that was it. And he acts like, you know, he's a Hall of Famer and all this other stuff. No, he's not. It was a terrible fighter. He got knocked out the last time around. This guy, you know, he also lives in La La Land. He believes that Teofimo Lopez is a top dog there. Continues to double down on saying that Matias was nothing, and he always knew that Matias was nothing. Was nobody with skills or anything like that. So let's see what's going to happen next, guys. I just think that Teofimo Lopez has demonstrated who he really is, has demonstrated that he is not an elite fighter. He's somebody that's been overhyped by the media, overhyped by, fools like Chris Algieri, overhyped by haters like Chris Algieri and others. This guy is not, he is skilled, but he's got a lot of holes in his game. And I think most of his problems are mental, to be honest with you. What did he say after he fought the last fight? I think it was Jermaine Ortiz. Oh, I want somebody that comes towards me and, and I know he's there, blah, blah, blah. So he's trying to choose somebody he thinks he can knock out. Well, he chose Claggett, who is that type of fighter, and what happened? He couldn't knock him out. He couldn't knock him down. He couldn't hurt him. What happened to his punching power from 135? He's done at 140. If he fights Pitbull Cruz, forget it. Pitbull's going to take his head off. And you know what I think about Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull Cruz, that is one-dimensional fighter, but he would have issues with Pitbull because he's had issues with Claggett. If you had Claggett beat his face up, you seen Teofimo's face after the fight? What he looked like? Don't tell me you didn't get hit. Don't tell me you're sensitive, like they were saying. Oh, he's got sensitive skin. Come on, guys, stop being idiots and liars. We see what's in front of us. He got hit a lot by somebody who is a C-level fighter. Claggett has 7 losses on his record. He's a tough kid moving forward. Imagine if he would have fought, Teofimo would have fought somebody like Suriel Matias, somebody like Pitbull Cruz. They would knock his ass out. So for all you Teofimo fans and all those guys with the flags from Honduras, that's another thing. Look at this guy. He came in, all these fans from Honduras, from Miami, showed up to support their Honduran fighter, the first fighter in the history of that little country to ever become a world champion. Honduras has never had a world champion, boxing world champion. Honduras has never been known for great boxers or good boxers. Never. This is the first guy. And he wasn't even born in Honduras. He was born in the States. He's a gringo. All right? His father's also American. Then his grandfather was from Spain or some shit like that. That he came in with a Spanish flag. Are you an idiot? I mean, you're fucking, you're damn insulting your own people with that action, with that attitude. He had all this fan base, a lot of people from New York, a lot of New Yorkers and everybody that was following Teofimo Lopez back in the day when he started. And he, talking bad about Puerto Ricans, talking that Puerto Ricans are easy, blah, 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 all this other shit. Now he goes in there and he's turning his back on the Honduran fan base, turned his back on the New York fan base, on the New Yorican fan base. Now he's turned his back on his own people, on what they're supposed to be his own people. The Honduran fan base that went to see him here in Miami, Florida. And like I told my assistant coach who actually bought tickets to go to see this fight, he goes, hey, let's go. I said, nah, man, I'm not gonna waste my money. That was a card which was all A side versus C side. All mismatches. Who wants to see a fight like that? You know who the winner's gonna be. Now, what I said before this fight, what I said in the previous episode was I would be shocked. I wouldn't be surprised if Claggett went the whole distance. I wouldn't be surprised if Claggett wins. Because Teofimo has been overhyped. Teofimo has been overrated. He has the skills, but his issues are mental. And he doesn't want to accept that he's wrong. When you don't accept you're doing something wrong, you continue doing it. What did Albert Einstein used to say? definition of insanity. He's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And that's what this guy is. He's insane. Teofimo Lopez. But anyway, guys, you saw that fight. I changed the channel. I started watching, later on, I think it was like maybe 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning already when the fight between Bam Rodriguez and Gallo Estrada finished. And I said it on this channel. I know a little bit about boxing. What did I say? That Estrada was going to put Bam on his ass. And he did. First time being knocked down. I say I wouldn't be surprised if Gallo Estrada puts Bam Rodriguez on his ass. But I had Bam winning. I had picked Bam to be the winner. It was a fairly even match. That was a good fight. You know, as long as it lasted. Bam Rodriguez, a phenom, man. This kid is good. This kid is good. So I don't know if he's planning on who else is planning on fighting that division, but I like to see him go against somebody like Naoya Inoue. I would like to see that fight, and he is young. He's a very young fighter. He can do it. But anyway, guys, please share your comments with me. Tell me what you think about this trash talking, you know, fantasy world, La La Land fighter they call Teofimo Lopez, the takeover. Do you see that stupid dance he did at man, I can't stand that guy. Sorry, guys. I can't stand him. Can't stand him. There's something about him, you know, you can see it's all fake. But anyway, arrogance. I hate arrogance. That's my way of being. I've always remember when I used to box, if we had an arrogant fighter among us, man, I would love to fight that guy to shut him up. Anyway, guys, this is all for now. This is all I have for now. I keep on getting interrupted by a whole bunch of calls. It's Monday, so it's back to business. Anyway, I want to share these thoughts with you guys, see what you think about Teofimo Lopez, his performance against Claggett, all these things that are going on right now, possible matchups coming up. But anyway, I just wish you guys have an excellent week. God bless you all. But until next time, this is Coach Mario saying hasta la vista. God bless you all and peace.